We have a friend of the show, Waka Flocka, with us. What's up, sir?
What's up, E?
Flocka!
What up, man?
But here's the cool part. We also have famous, and would I describe you as an EDM performer or DJ, Steve Aoki, with us? How would I describe you?
Yeah, I'm DJ.
Straight DJ. So when you use the words DJ, for me, I go, wait. He's up there spinning records, he's cutting and scratching, he's rocking clubs, but then I watch it. That's not exactly what you do. Explain to the audience what Steve Aoki does on stage and for music.
Well, it is a performance. I'm DJing. I'm not scratching. Instead, I'm using that time to go and, maybe interact with the crowd directly. So whether it's a cake to their face or, bringing out a raft where people can actually comfortably crowd surf on people on a nice cushion.
I've seen this, bro.
Yeah. But how did the whole caking thing come about? Like, what made you say, hey, you know what, let me grab some cakes and just smash them on people's faces?
Well, that's also, it's an evolution of bringing some new ideas to the stage where the interaction level is just amplified. And the boat came first in 2009, and then 2 years later, I needed to, jumpstart something new, and got inspired by a music video, saw cakes exploding people's faces. And I was like, well, actually, if I do that, then it's another element to the show.
So what made you get into being a performance artist, DJ? Are you and also are you producing the music that you play, or are you playing other people's music?
Yeah, I mean, I do, of course, play other people's music, but when it comes to like an Aoki show, then I'm playing almost entirely all my music.
Wow.
And we did a tour, me and Waka, we did a tour for 2 months across the U.S., and that's when I did the Steve Aoki musical show, and everything like that. And that's where me and Waka did our song together. And
Yeah.
So now, Waka, I'm seeing you making this transition. You're on these big EDM festivals. We talked about, how long ago was that, Rosenberg?
The transition?
Yeah.
A year, 2 years ago, we started talking about how Waka could make those moves.
The end of 2012.
Yeah, now we're here. Now it's 2014, and you've really sort of transitioned from being just known as, I guess, what would be considered now like a trap MC. I don't know what people call you, but to now you really have crossed over, and you're doing these huge EDM shows. And so, how did you plan it like that, and how's it going?
I planned it. I feel I just wanted to expand my market. I feel like nowadays, most rappers, quote unquote, they get watered down after a year and a half. And I seen myself getting watered down, so before I even get played out, I just pull back. And I feel like EDM the same as hip-hop, because I ain't doing nothing but entertaining. I'm still being Waka Flocka, I'm still being myself. I'm entertaining, it's fun.
I'm happy to hear you say that, and that means you did your homework, because Planet Rock and Soul Sonic Force and Kraftwerk and all of those, there was a lot of foundations in, and that was early electronic music, right? Those foundations now, I don't know, Steve Aoki, in your world, and because you produce records, do you recognize the role that hip-hop's played in the advancement of EDM and when you do it?
Well, I love collaborating outside of my genre. And with this new album, I'm doing a lot of collaborations outside of dance music. So, it's always best as a producer to find that balance between your world and the world that you're working outside of. So with Waka, it's like when I saw his energy, first of all, the energy that he puts on stage is more energy than I see not just in any like dance DJs or rock or hip hop. He just exudes a lot of energy. So the crowd already vibes off that. I think that's like what's the most important part about Waka says, that he can go into a new genre and light up the whole room with his energy. So with our record, that's really where you hear it's a really loud, it's an energetic record. He's flowing over a certain beat, a certain swagger, changed the beat pattern tempo, so it kind of fits more with the hip hop swagger, and then it goes into like the throw your hands up in the air emotional section, where I'm emulating more of the Pursuit of Happiness remix I did for Kid Cudi back in the day, that a lot of more of the hip hop crowd knows. If they know any of my music, they know that one, and so that there's like a a balance between our two worlds.
Steve, what are your biggest remixes? You've had a few. Before I knew you as this performer, I knew you as a name I saw on records, the Steve Aoki remix. What were some of the big remixes you did?
I mean, as far as like crossing into hip hop, I did the Drake remix with Eminem, Lil Wayne.
Forever.
Yeah, the Forever remix. The Pursuit of Happiness remix is definitely one of the more mainstream records because it got placements in movies like Project X.
Crazy.
The Jackson 5 remix for me was more like a prestigious move. When Sylvia Rone called me and asked me to do that one, I was blown away. I could actually use, the actual session with what
was that like?
With the engineer talking to Michael Jackson. You can hear him tapping his foot on the floor, live drums, like stuff like that. And you'd be surprised when you hear that remix. You'd be like, "That's a Steve Aoki remix." I mean, it's like a disco-y remix that I did.
Pardon the ignorance. Which song was it?
Dancing
Machine.
Dancing Machine.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you got to hear the whole session of Dancing Machine.
Yeah, I did like actually 5 different versions of that remix. I really wish I kept the other 4, because I mean I wanted to make sure this sounded right, but then like the originals kind of became stronger records, and I think that's like for a lot of producers in the dance world, we start out doing remixes. That's the best place to start because you work with a palette. And you can, it's a lot easier to start off with an idea. And then once you get to the original music and you can master that, then that's the kind of track I've been staying on.
When did you start as a producer DJ? Is that something you did as a kid?
Well, I've always been in bands. Like I picked up a guitar when I was 14 and I started playing in bands, and I was in studios in that world, like playing bass.
And where are you from?
California.
California.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like LA. I live in Vegas now.
I've read that your dad was the Benihana chains. Is that you come from that? Like he owns restaurants or something. So that you just grew up in Southern California and.
Well, my dad, he's like always lived in New York.
Got it.
So my affinity with New York is strong. I love New York, and I've always been coming back to New York.
Your parents were broken up?
Yeah.
So he was here,
so,
and your mom was in Southern California.
Yeah. So she just, when they divorced, she's like, "Get me to the other side of the country.
Get me out of here."
So, but was your dad, as a kid, was your dad a baller? Like when you came to visit your dad, was it like,
he was balling. He was balling. He first lived in New Jersey and Inglewood. And he had this crazy house on this like acres of land. I mean, he had cars like up the wazoo. I mean, he was living it up.
And were you living now when you were with your mom? You were living a relatively normal life.
Yeah, she's very humble, very frugal. We lived. I mean, we did live in a suburb. So I mean, it wasn't.
You weren't scrapping, but it was normal suburb life.
It's very normal.
And then you come visit your dad, and was he single too at the time?
Yeah, he's always kind of single anyways.
Yeah.
But
so you go visit Pops, and your dad's this millionaire bachelor on the East Coast.
Yeah, he's, I mean, yeah, definitely. And then he moved to New York City, and then, that's when I was, as a kid, running around New York City with my siblings.
And what did he live in, some ridiculous luxury building in the city?
He lived in a brownstone on 63rd and 3rd.
Talk about it.
Had a nice full brownstone.
It was just, one of those, like, I think it was like Eddie Murphy's house at one point. I don't even know.
Oh my God. So here's what I really like about Steve Aoki, though. If you don't know better, I saw him, I remember this, I saw you. I hosted the show you did at South by, the big one, at Austin Music Hall. And I watched him perform for the first time. And my boy, Hip Hop Mike, is a stand for this guy, like was so pumped. He's like, Aoki's here, like so pumped up, right? Ready to fist pump, go crazy. When I see him do his show, I only knew him previously really as a producer. So generally you have producers who are talented and make good music. And then I see a lot of DJs who to me kind of do corny things to get over with the crowd. Steve does some of those things. But he's allowed to do that because he actually also makes music.
Right. So I love see him jump on a raft and go around the stage.
That's just him turning up. You know what I'm saying? And like I really appreciate it because you also make the music that you're turning up to.
Yeah.
Hey, Waka, when you decided to expand and and explore the EDM world, what was it about Steve how did you guys connect? Did you look for him? Were you the one like, this guy is doing rafting and caking, his parties are turned up, like I need to be a part of that?
I didn't even know Steve did rafting. The first thing I ever seen on Steve was him throwing the cake like 40 feet. Had a guy in a wheelchair, the crowd picked him.
And the guy in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
No.
And he loved it.
At the time, my team should be like, yo, you want to, I told him, I said, yo, I want to go on an EDM tour. I just wanted to get away from hip hop. I want to go far left, like move to the other coast, how Steve said. So when I seen Steve, I'm like, man, he look like me, like a Waka Flocka of dance music. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So when I seen this show, I thought it was hype. I'm like, oh, he's just another DJ. I visited like 6 other DJs. I'm like, nah, I don't like him. Nah, I don't like him. He nasty to the people. I need somebody that was fan friendly. And Steve's so fan friendly. In his show, he got the damn speakers coming alive to robots, people jumping in the crowd. Then the energy is all love. Like it's super loves.
Until one of y'all throws a cake back at Waka Flocka.
Yeah.
I would suggest.
I honestly feel like the fans would jump on me if I try to take the cake. Yo, they fight for that cake, man. They pushing each other out the way to get hit in the face.
Yeah,
Well, not so fast, Rosenberg. What's in the cake?
That's secret
What
sauce.
is in
That's
this
secret-
motherfucking
that's a
cake?
secret
Like,
question.
you gotta see that. They're like, please, me.
We got a baker on the road, you know.
do you make these cakes yourself? Or you go buy these in different cities?
Yeah, that's yeah. We get them in different cities.
See, like 15 cakes a night.
Well, his the way he did not
Fully
clearly answer that question
Yeah, that
tells
was-
me I know why people are fighting over this cake.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think, Ebro, this cake is like Joffrey's cake in Game of Thrones? Are there like pigeons inside the cake?
So now you have this album and you're working together. You come from being in a band and the way you came up that you described. But now we jump over to Waka Flocka, who comes from a completely different world. Grew up in Queens. Started out in Queens, grew up in Atlanta, being around a lot of street shit for a long time, and had the, I guess, consciousness to be like, yo, I'm gonna chill on this hip hop shit. I need to expand my brand. Where does this go for you now, Waka Flocka? What should we be paying attention to? Because I'm proud of you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I don't see a lot of individuals, one, make it out of the circumstances that you started in.
Yeah.
Two, be aware enough and business savvy enough to be like, you know what, I did that already. I'm not doing these ghetto ass, stupid ass clubs and fighting with rappers and all this other beef that you went through with Gucci and all other shit. A lot of people don't have the consciousness to make that move. So talk to us about where you're headed now.
I'm headed. That's a good question. Because now it's crazy. I used to feel like, yo, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna give me a nice Waka. I'm gonna give me another Waka Flocka. But now I feel like my fan base got so big. I feel like Waka Flocka that started off what Ola's doing Harder Than Paint. That's how crazy it is right now. But I just wanted my own fan base. I want a cult following, a real cult following, because I feel like the things quote unquote rappers do today, they live the rapper's lifestyle. They don't let rap live their lifestyle. So I feel like I'm gonna let music live my lifestyle. I'm not afraid to do nothing because at the end of the day, I'm who I am. I can't change. I can't help that I'm ghetto, that I like greasy chicken with hot sauce, and I like eggs and fries, and I can't help it. So I never stop doing it. But I just want to entertain. Man. I'm an entertainer.
But I think that's super interesting that you say that. You say that you're ghetto and you like things that are inherently from the way you came up, but at the same time, you're obviously also comfortable in all kinds of circles.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't really have an interest in being, like, there couldn't be, honestly, I met you a handful of times. I've never met Gucci, but from what I gather, you don't seem anything like what I would imagine Gucci to be like anymore. You seem like a really relaxed dude who really is down for fun. Otherwise, you wouldn't be partying with the kind of lunatics who come to Steve Aoki shows.
Yo, honestly, if work ain't fun, why do it? I feel it's fun. I ain't since I've been doing music. I've probably been doing dance for a year and a half. Yo, I don't even have security. Like, it's crazy. I can't even explain to you.
You don't even worry about anything.
Yo, I don't even want to wear jewelry. Like, it ain't no point because you just turn it up. Yo, I used to perform, and my outfit used to cost like $3,700 a show.
This is amazing to hear.
Now you go to American Apparel, grab
right
that
now.
little hoodie right there and call it a night.
Yo, it was the other one.
Yo, hold on. So you're saying that literally just being in hip hop cost you more money?
The lifestyle costs more than anything. It's fabrication.
But that's appearances. You were doing that for appearances, more or less.
I wasn't. I was doing that because I was confused and I ain't know.
Well, no, I'm not judging you for it. But you were
Now
trying to
I
figure
know.
it out.
Yeah, now as a man, I figure like I learned like it ain't about living up to what people want you to be. You got to be yourself.
See,
at all times.
That right there, that last sentence is exactly why you're gonna have success in this next transition, because you're not afraid of what people think about you, because you're comfortable in being who you are, right? You don't have nothing to prove to anybody. Anyone in hip hop is gonna be like, yo, no, Waka's a real dude, and they're never going to try and you know how hip hop is notorious for trying to take your credibility away.
It's
from
impossible. Even though I was on tour with Steve, I'm still in the gutter. See, rappers get confused. They feel like the strip clubs and the nightclubs is the streets. No, brother. The streets and the nightclubs is two different worlds. I'm in the streets.
Talk about it.
I'm just not in the nightclubs. I'm not a nightclub kind of person. I would have never went to a nightclub if I never met Gucci in my life. Ever. That's just not my style. I'm from the gutter, so we don't go partying because that's called slipping. So that's just how I am. I'm still in the gutter, still in the streets.
See, that's why I don't party either. But you slipping.
Wait, time out, Waka, time out. No, you don't party because, how do I say this?
Nobody invites you anymore.
Shut up, Laura. I'm not slipping out here. So you're saying you still spend time in the same place you always did?
Of course, right now. Rappers still call me right now. And I swear to God, they start lining them and start screenshotting their text messages. They still call me like, hey, who you know in this city? Who you know this city? Waka.
And you still got your connects everywhere.
I'm still
good.
gonna help. I'm good.
Are there any difficulties you guys have had working together? Because you guys were like kind of like when me and Syph got put together. Y'all started a business partnership. Like you weren't old friends. You came together to make money together and work together.
Steve get it, man. This guy right here gets it. I swear, he works. I feel like that in hip hop. I know I do more shows than any rapper. Period. This guy do more shows than anybody I know. I could call him a week from now. Yo, where you at? I'm in Yugoslavia. I'm like, yo, where you at? I'm in Australia. He was like, this
last time we were in Russia
everywhere.
together, that was a strange coincidence.
You were where? Russia at the same time?
Yeah, I go in the hotel lobby and Waka sitting right there. I'm like, what are you doing here? It's so
No,
crazy.
and you guys weren't on the road together at that moment?
Yeah.
Two different shows.
So Waka, with all this new travel, and obviously a whole new fan base, it's a whole new type of woman that you're exposed to, and you've been very focused. You've been a focused young man. You're
I had the same woman for the last 3 years.
That's what I mean.
Through rapping, through this.
yeah, everything.
Still right now?
Yeah, of course.
Does she travel with you?
Not really. She ain't on that. She don't go to studios. She not with none of that.
But
she
do you guys
She
get-
said that's your life.
Do you guys get to spend more time or less time together now?
Same. Less time. But we got an agenda we doing. Love gotta wait. We hustling both. Like
Is your and how's your mom doing? I've known your
She
mom
great.
for a long time.
she great. I got a radio station. She doing some. She doing like a whole bunch of plays and sitcoms. She got some
So
crazy.
she's taking it to a whole nother place as well.
She really leaving music alone. But she pushing this one female artist we got called Rima Major.
I've seen that name before.
I truthfully in my heart feel like female MCs, they gonna be real pressured by this 18-year-old. Pressured. I'm pressured. Like I ain't gonna lie. Like I did a record with her. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I did the hook. She did her verse. I choked. I said, yo, her verse is so crazy.
Where's she from?
She from the Middle East. But she moved to Kansas City and she from Canada.
Well, when you say the Middle East, are you saying that she is from?
Like close to Dubai.
Okay, got it. Literally,
She's Arabic.
I thought it
Yeah,
was
she's
Waka.
Arabic, excuse me.
I thought it was Waka making up a place in the country called the Middle East, like in the middle of this country. I like Delaware,
Ohio.
Yeah,
is
like
kinda
middle.
like the Middle East.
That was me
Middle
prejudging.
East.
I think a rapper is talking about the Middle East.
Nah,
Couldn't
this
have.
is Waka, man.
It's Waka, I know.
Don't you
She
doubt
going
Waka, and
hard.
he's making a change
she
right now.
I promise to God, New York is gonna respect her. Atlanta's gonna respect. Yo, I promise. It's a lot of people don't want to rap with her.
I want to ask Steve.
Like a lot.
I want to ask Steve one more question. I've always found it sort of fascinating. We talk about race a lot on this show. I've always found that in America, Asian men, there are not a lot of Asian men who are known in the mainstream world to be sex symbols or sort of someone out there that's popping among all kinds of different women. This is like me and our Jen, our Jen who works on the show is Vietnamese. We always talk about this, the lack of Asian men that are out there for women to lust after, if you will.
They don't want to fuck the Asian guys, is what he's saying.
Yeah,
Steve
people
Aoki.
sleep on Asian men. Yet you are clearly out there doing your thing.
Oh, my boy turned up.
The lane is wide open for you, Steve. Would you say that you occupy a fun space?
I definitely occupy a fun space. I don't think of myself as the Asian sex symbol.
You should. Well, guess what I would do if I
God
was
damn
you?
it, you're slipping.
Well, then change your Twitter bio right now to Steve Aoki, DJ, producer, Asian sex symbol. But you do all
Oh my
right.
God. Now I got a girl, man.
You
So
got a
I'm all-
girl?
Yeah, I'm all
Both
good.
of you guys, what the Listen,
Well, see, and this is why Rosenberg doesn't go to clubs. He brought it up earlier. It's because Rosenberg is just now figuring out, now that he's married, now that he's on television, he has more options than he's ever had before. Waka Flocka, you had options when you was a young man. It was no big deal. Steve, you was a young man with some money in your pocket. You had options. Rosenberg is a young fucking cornball and got to Hot 97. Now he's popping, and he's like, wait, I want to go to a club now.
I literally, for the first time the other day, I was like, I kind of understand why people would go to a club. I get this. People feel you. You want to go out and get felt.
You get attention.
You get attention. They bring you a bottle. Girls talk to you. I was like, before I would just like walk in and stand there and be like, why am I here? I understand. It's still not for me, but I understand it a little bit more.
Yeah.
You guys are in a setting where you get felt everywhere you go. That doesn't get difficult, seeing as you guys are both in committed relationships? Or do you have a lady who is open to what we call Eastern philosophies?
Gentlemen, don't answer that question.
Yeah, you know what? Because if they are open to it, they don't want you to say that they're open to it.
Steve or Waka, who wants to intro this tune? Let's get into it and expose it to the people. Who want to intro?
While you do it, Walker, you're good.
This record right here is called Rage Night Away, produced by Steve Aoki and me. This record right here, like, when I did this record, I knew it was a hit. I'm like, but Steve sent the beat. I'm like, man, we sent this beat to me.
And what do you want Waka fans to do when they hear this record? People that were already fans of you, and Stevie Aoki, people who are fans of you, that this is an unlikely pairing. Right. What do you want them to do right now before we get into this record? Because some people aren't as open-minded as we would love them to be. Some people ain't like me that understand that EDM and hip-hop go hand in hand. They don't understand that. Yeah. And some people, you know what I mean, they're not ready for these worlds to come together. So what do you want them to do?
This song's about energy. This song's about letting go and you know, literally raging the night away. You know, it's about going out and having the best time of your life and having no pretenses.
You perform with Steve Aoki. Steve Aoki, this is your show. What's happening?
Yeah, I'm doing a show August 16th at Madison Square Garden. Announced it 2 days ago, and yeah, it's the biggest show of my
Wait, it's
career.
been 48 hours. I'm told that Steve Aoki show sell out in like 24. Are there tickets left? Are there honestly tickets left to the Steve Aoki show?
Tickets actually go on sale May 9th.
Oh, okay, so they got time.
Yeah, so May 9th is when we're going to announce. Oh, we announced it 48 hours ago. May 9th, you could buy the tickets.
Okay.
And it's all based around my album Neon Future that's coming out August 12th. So up until then, I'll be releasing other singles. And the album's called Neon Future, and the show is going to be with new production around this Neon Future concept, and yeah, so me and Waka are running around New York, you know, promoting the single, promoting the show.
I like it. So we will see you back again, I hope, because you're gonna bring us another record,
I'd love to.
Another record, and another party, and we're gonna get it moving.
Let's do it.
There it is. The Hot 97 Morning Show, Waka Flocka, Steve Aoki. Is there an album on the way that we should be paying? That's a whole album, or is Waka, are you just featured on this one song? How's this working?
I'm featured on Steve Aoki song, Neon Future. I got an album coming out, Flockavelli Part 2. I have an electronic album also coming out called Flockadelics.
Love it.
Song working.
Love it.
There you go.
Flocka, Steve Aoki. Thanks, guys.